So Jimmy Kimmel's wife, Molly McNearney, has what I think is stage 5 Trump derangement syndrome. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about late night talk show host Jimmy Kimmel and his wife Molly on their podcast, talking about a variety of issues. But one of the main things that caught my attention was how Molly outlined how she has full-blown Trump derangement syndrome, also known as TDS. Now, I've said this about some people, maybe jokingly, but really it's a thing. It's a thing. Some people have it. Some of y'all know them. They may be friends, family, associates, whatever. You see them in their everyday life, and it's like, hey, something's wrong. You might want to talk to somebody. You might want to try to figure that out, because why is your mood always cranky? Why are you so passionate about Donald Trump? It doesn't matter what Trump does. Trump could climb a tree and rescue a baby kitten, and they would have a full-on panic attack over that. At a certain point, it's like, okay, I understand you don't like this guy, but you need to kind of, get a life and get a grip and get yourself back together. Now, before I go any further, let's get into the actual podcast clip. Of course, I got to pause it at certain points because YouTube copyright, I know how it go. But I'll link to this clip and the next clip in the description. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Thankfully, my immediate family, they did not vote for Donald Trump.
Okay.
They did the first time, a few of them. We flipped them the second time. It's weird. When Donald Trump was first elected.
Before she continues, why do they always use his first and last name, Donald Trump? Is that like a thing? A lot of your TDS sufferers, they behave the same way, even when not exhibiting full-blown signs of TDS. When they're not screeching and hollering, they do stuff like that. But I digress.
I was so upset. We all were. But I remember thinking, I understand it, because I grew up in a very conservative Republican house. I mean, I bought my dad a Rush Limbaugh tie in high school.
You know what? I've heard this a lot. People that grew up conservative, they want to rebel against their parents. Now, maybe that rebellious phase is there when you are a teenager, but when you get to be 40-something years old and you're still rebelling, or they got brainwashed when they left their home.
I voted Republican straight ticket, and that's what I was told to do. And then I left St. Louis, Missouri, and I met people from different backgrounds, and I started to understand different things and different needs and different people. And there's like a little bit of sympathy I have for people in my family that I feel are kind of being deliberately misinformed every day. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
So she thinks that she's more educated than her family who's still in St. Louis. Now, my question would be, who did you meet? People of different backgrounds and whatnot. Are you talking about a lot of your liberals like these people right here? A lot of your white liberals in Hollywood, California? Because it ain't about racial. You living in St. Louis, which is a high black population. You ain't talking about that. You're talking about a lot of your white liberals who have brainwashed you and they believe in a certain kind of way. Same kind of way if you were to meet a cult leader and then they say, hey, you know what? We have a brand new way of living. Come on and join us. That is what I'm hearing from you.
They're deliberately being misinformed every day, and they believe it. But it hurts me so much because of the personal relationship I now have, where my husband is out there fighting this man. And to me, them voting for Trump is them not voting for my husband and me and our family. And
that is such a soft way to look at it. Politics would never, ever get in the way of me and my family members, ever. I don't care what they believe. I don't care what they got going on. I'm going to leave that to the side. You're some of my family members, regardless. Now, if you do something crazy, if you get yourself locked up, you engage in a criminal activity, or you want to start smoking crack, that's something different. But just because we think differently politically, that's not enough for our relationship to become in any kind of way troubled.
I unfortunately have kind of lost relationships with people in my family because of it. This is not just Republican versus Democrat for me anymore. Mm-hmm. It is, to me, it's family values. And it's really hard for me because I grew up believing in these Christian ideals of taking care of the sick and taking care of the poor.
I can't tell. You grew up Christian and you still adhering to your Christian values. I can't tell.
And I don't see that happening with this Republican Party. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like I'm kind of in constant conflict, and I'm angry all the time, which isn't healthy at all. But
it's not healthy all the time. And the anger, that is a core symptom, a core sign of someone suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. You mentioned Trump, Donald Trump, and this man, all this, that, and the third. You've mentioned that for this whole 2 minutes or so that you've been talking. And you capped it off by saying you're angry all the time. Have you ever asked yourself why you're so angry all the time? Is it because your family not really getting it? They're not really kind of coming along? Is it because some people don't agree with you? Or is it because of your obsession with Donald Trump?
I personalize everything now. When I see these terrible stories every day, I'm immediately mad at certain aunts, uncles, cousins who put him in power. And it's really hard. And I wish I could deprogram myself in some way, but I get really angry. And
you know what? Therapy might work. That might be a good place to start. Maybe, just maybe, to quote unquote deprogram yourself, because clearly you need something. You got to talk to somebody to get your mind back in order.
I've sent many emails to family, right before the election, saying, I'm begging you, here's the 10 reasons not to vote for this guy. Please don't. And I either got ignored by 90% of them or got truly insane responses from a few. It's definitely caused a strain. I've definitely pulled in closer with the family that I feel more aligned with. And I hate that this has happened, Just
echo chamber. That's okay. It's fine. Just say that. You want an echo chamber. You don't want to associate with anyone in your family you don't agree with politically. Okay, it's okay.
It feels silly. Part of me goes, don't let politics get in the way. But to me, this isn't politics. It's truly values. And we're not aligned anymore.
Terrible, 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 terrible. Family members breaking apart, long-time relationships. You and your cousin were like brother and sister when you were kids. Now here you are at 47 wanting to cut them off because of their opinion about some politics. It's ridiculous. Let's keep on going. There's one more where she brought the kids up. Because remember, Kimmel had got suspended from his show because he went on air and said some very disparaging things, some disgusting things, some horrific things about Charlie Kirk after he was assassinated. My friend, RIP to my friend Charlie. He was suspended because when you have an FCC license, you can't say certain things. So people know that, and they were calling the station to complain. A lot of stations nationwide pulled this show. This caused some of the bigger companies, Sinclair and Nexstar, to pull them. Then that caused Disney to have to act because of the backlash from the people. Don't let anyone tell you that it was President Trump that wanted to get him fired. It was a backlash from the people. And Jimmy Kimmel shouldn't be upset at that anyway, because he was somebody who said Roseanne Barr should have got fired when she went through a controversy with the whole, I don't know what she said. It don't even really matter. She said something and she was kicked off her show and Jimmy Kimmel supported it. But now he says, I was victimized by Donald Trump because the people called FCC and complained against me and got me suspended. Anyway.
They seemed like it was going to be good. And it occurred to me, oh boy, this is not going to be good. And Jimmy let them know. He said, my show has been suspended. And our daughter immediately burst into tears. Oh. And she said, I'll sell my Labubu's.
Oh, man, look, them kids be all right. Them kids would be just fine. Okay, in their sprawling compound in Los Angeles or wherever they'll be just fine. Your dad is making $100 million to go out there and stick up the joint every single night. It's okay. It is totally fine.
And we told her, yeah, you should. No, we did not. We told her, no, you don't need to do that. You don't need to sell Labubu's. And our son asked if the president had done this. Oh. And we looked at each other and we didn't quite know how to answer that.
Be honest and say no, because it was not Trump that did it. It was your husband, Jimmy Kimmel, that did it. And the people responded. The people got him suspended. It was not President Trump.
Question.
I think I said yes.
We did. We actually both said yes at the exact same time. We said yes, he did. And it's weird, because you don't want your kids to...
It's certainly not an experience I had with my parents.
Now, my question is, when you told this story and you brought up the moment where your son asked if President Trump did it, why didn't you just say that you said yes? Because at first you said, well, we looked at each other. You kind of want to build up to it. You don't want to say that. That's what you said, because that's not really what happened. Jimmy had to step in, and then you said, well, yeah, we said yeah at the exact same time. Why you ain't just say that from the beginning? You people are liars. As I close, I want to say this. Shout out to all you guys who called the FCC to complain about Jimmy Kimmel after he did what he did. Listen, you have an FCC license, and not all stations have a license. The only ones that broadcast over the air for free. When you have the license, there's certain things you have to do. There's certain criteria you must meet when it comes to the content you put out. Jimmy Kimmel did not do that. Jimmy Kimmel violated that, which is why he got suspended, because the people didn't like it. It wasn't about Trump trying to get him off the air, because if that was the case, there was plenty of opportunity for Trump to attempt that since 2015 when it came down the escalator. It's not about that. But since you got TDS, you want to blame Trump for everything. It's like blaming the white man or blaming the Jews or blaming somebody, rather than looking in the mirror and saying, you know what? I'm Jimmy Kimmel. I messed up. I got to do better. It's easier to blame somebody else to avoid any kind of accountability whatsoever. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about Jimmy Kimmel's wife, Molly McNearney, I believe her name is? Why is her name not Molly Kimmel? Because who are you anyway? But what's your opinion about what she said? Is she crazy to disown family members because of their political opinion, or is it justified? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. All I heard right there throughout that entire time in both clips was, I have Trump derangement syndrome, and here is how it manifests. I tell my kids lies. I disown family members. I'm angry all the time. I got mental problems. That's what I heard. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.